My son's wife stopped me mid-sentence and said, "Don't confuse my kids. You're not their grandpa." I just smiled. I'm Robert, 65, retired. My son Jake died in a car accident 2 years ago, leaving behind his wife Lisa and my 2 grandsons, ages 8 and 10. Since then, I've been their rock. For 2 years, I showed up every week without fail, helped with homework every Tuesday, attended every soccer game and school play. When Tommy had nightmares about his dad, I was the one sitting by his bed at 2 a.m. reading stories until he fell back asleep. When little Marcus broke his arm last summer, I drove them to the ER because Lisa was having a panic attack in the parking lot. I taught them to ride bikes in my driveway, took them camping every Memorial Day weekend, and spent every holiday making sure they felt loved despite losing their father. They called me Grandpa Bob, and I couldn't have been prouder. Their friends all knew me as the grandpa who brought snacks to practice and cheered the loudest at games. Then 6 months ago, Lisa started dating Brad. Nice enough guy on the surface, I suppose, but everything changed almost immediately. My weekly visits became inconvenient because Brad was coming over. My calls went straight to voicemail. When I did manage to see the boys, they seemed distant, like they'd been coached on what to say. Lisa started making comments about moving forward and not living in the past. She'd roll her eyes when the boys mentioned things we'd done together. Brad would just sit there smirking, like he was already planning his takeover of my role in their lives. The final straw came 3 weeks ago when I offered to take the boys to their dad's favorite fishing spot for his birthday memorial. Lisa said they were too busy and needed to focus on building new traditions. I watched through the window as Brad taught them to throw a football in my son's backyard, the same backyard where Jake and I had played catch every weekend of his childhood. Last Sunday, I decided to try one more family dinner. I brought Tommy's favorite cookies that I'd been making for him since he was 5. I brought Marcus the baseball cards I'd been collecting for his set. I thought maybe we could find our way back to being a family. The moment I walked in, I could feel the tension. Lisa barely made eye contact, checking her phone constantly. The boys were quieter than usual, glancing nervously between me and their mom. When I asked Tommy about his upcoming science fair project, Lisa jumped in to answer for him, saying Brad was helping him with it now. During dinner, Tommy started acting up, throwing bits of food at his brother and giggling. It reminded me so much of Jake at that age. I gently said, "Hey buddy, let's use our manners like Dad would have wanted." That's when Lisa exploded. Her face turned red and she slammed her fork down. "Stop. Just stop right there. Don't confuse my kids. You're not their grandpa anymore. I'm remarrying Brad next month, and they need to focus on their new family now. They don't need mixed messages about who matters in their lives." The boys looked absolutely crushed. Marcus's lips started trembling, and Tommy just stared at his plate. I felt my heart shatter, but I just smiled and said, "You're absolutely right." See, what Lisa didn't know was exactly how much I'd been quietly supporting them since Jake died. The $2,000 monthly life insurance payout she thought came from Jake's policy, that was me, transferred automatically from my account. The college funds with $40,000 each, mine. Their health insurance, car payments, even the house mortgage I'd been covering since day one. Monday morning, I called my lawyer. Tuesday, everything stopped. The fake insurance payments ended. College accounts closed. I transferred the house deed back to my name. Turns out Jake never officially inherited it. By Thursday, Lisa was calling frantically. "Robert, there's been some mistake. The insurance company says there's no policy." "No mistake," I said calmly. "Ask Brad to figure it out. He's their new family now." When the eviction notice came Friday, she showed up at my door sobbing. "Please, the boys need stability." "They needed their real grandfather too," I replied. "But according to you, that's not me anymore."